Good morning, everyone. And lately, we could really use some rainfall. And yeah, it was a very dry September and October so far. And because of all these dry conditions, yeah, the drought monitor is showing abnormally dry situation all across Rhode Island, the exception being southeastern Mass and out towards Cape Cod and the islands. But you do notice you get up in the northeastern Mass, starting to really get into the moderate category at this time. But with all the nice weather and dry conditions, yeah, the fall foliage has been very bright across the region. They're really coming on strong now across the Ocean State, and a lot of color working its way towards the Cape. Next week, they'll be getting into moderate to near peak conditions. A lot of color in the sky right now. We're just minutes away from sunrise, which is at 7:05 this morning. So we go from the blues to some orange and red showing up right on the horizon. Currently 46 degrees with that clear sky in Providence and a light southwesterly breeze across the region. And once that sun comes up, everybody will start warming up. But for now, we do have cooler pockets out there. If you're traveling up 95 towards Boston, you'll encounter a cool down in Norwood where it's 38 degrees. But again, otherwise, we're seeing 40s and 50s at this hour. But check this out. We go out to the Midwest, and Minneapolis, Minnesota is at 66 degrees right now. And this warmth is just going to continue feeding in our direction for the next couple of days because of this high pressure area anchored over the mid-Atlantic coastline. So we're getting that westerly breeze for today. That's a downsloping wind. It has a little extra heating. And so we'll be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. For tomorrow, it's more of the same with lots of sunshine, but maybe a little bit of a sea breeze coming right up the bay to cool things off just a bit. We head on into Wednesday. We'll have some high clouds advancing upon us as a cold front will approach. And it could trigger just a few raindrops as it comes on through. But as you notice here, the radar, what's showing up, the depiction, is really not showing much at all. So I wouldn't hold out much hope to get much rainfall. Maybe just a couple of raindrops when it goes by. And then it cools down as we head towards the weekend for a few days. All right, so here's the locally what we're going to be looking at. As we get towards the lunchtime hour, we're well into the 70s, heading towards 80 degrees in some spots away from the coastline. Sky stays clear all day long. And then overnight tonight, clear and not quite as chilly as it has been. So we'll see most regions in the upper 40s and low 50s. And then for tomorrow, we're back into the 70s. I think we're going to see that little sea breeze come right up the coastline. So while Newport hits 72 degrees, Providence might do the same if it's just a strong enough of a breeze for the afternoon. And then as we head into Wednesday, it's more of the same. Highs in the low 70s with high clouds filtering a little bit. And again, maybe a couple of raindrops Thursday morning as we start the cool down, heading into the 60s. Friday and Saturday into the 50s, which is just about where we should be. And another threat of a shower. That's it for Saturday. Kara.
Thank you, Bill. I'm going to take advantage of some of the